How you doing, everybody? All right, in this video, I'm going to be getting real personal, talking about my life, and I know that the theme of this channel has been nursing home life, and I got into how nursing homes are. I'm going to release a series of videos talking about my personal life, just a couple more, and then I'm done. I realize that this is a channel made to talk about what nursing home life is like, and I've, been going on about my personal self for quite some time now. I really don't want to. I'm sorry for that, but I really have to get these things off my chest so I can function. I'm sorry. When I was young, my mother used to do things that were let me just give you an example, okay? I remember being 2 years old, and maybe 3 years, maybe a little older, whenever, right about the time your memories first form, being a very small child. And running up and down our apartment we lived in at the time, and I would, making noise. I'd be obstreperous, as most, 3-4-year-old children are. And, I remember my mother, maybe she was trying to watch a program. And I'll admit, maybe it might have been rough. Maybe I wanted time. Like, my mother, being good was just stay put. Don't move. Stay there. Don't move. Don't move. That's it. Just stay put. Don't move. If I ever, there would be a point that if ever I'd be just running up and down the apartment, something like that, she would pretend as if she was dying. Literally, oh my God, the agita, I'm dying. I'm dying. She's Italian. Don't mean, The Sopranos, whenever they show, a lot of, let me just say, I am just disquieted by the verisimilitude sometimes. I really am. I truly am. Okay, to a real, it's just unbelievable. But she would pretend that she was dying. And of course, as you're a young child, you're crying. You're like, Mom, what's going on? Mommy, what's going on? She said, Barry, you're being bad and you're making me die. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or she'd tell me she was gonna run away, and she would do all kinds of things like that. So basically just to stay put was being good to her. I remember basically she used to tell me not to touch anyone because they would fall apart. You're gonna hurt them or something, or something like that. You know what I mean? I wrote a couple of things down. I just wanted to she used to every day if ever I vomited, if ever I got nauseous and I vomited on something, it would be the end of it. Yelling. Imagine she never wanted. She would growl in my face, make this face. Imagine someone showing teeth, almost like the way a dog would growl at somebody when they hate, showing teeth at you, and just fucking, telling you, just saying them horrible things, that if a mother said to their child nowadays, it would be just considered pure child abuse. But just I never wanted you, and, God, you're this, you're that, you're so stupid, you're an asshole, she'd be arguing with my father and growling at me, yelling, you're like him, and just, things like that, And by the way, I have some proof for you coming in the next couple of videos, because you know what? I know people look at her, they look at me, they see her bringing me food, and they think, oh, well, she's bringing him food. She can't possibly be a bad person. Well, Barry, and that's another thing. How, people look at me in this nursing home like I'm a difficult patient because I ask people 10 times, can you close the door while I'm naked? Please, I don't want people in the hallway walking by and seeing me. I don't want anybody. If someone knocks on the door, don't just invite them in. But they do it 10 times after you ask them so nicely not to do it. And I finally yell. I finally say, will you please not fucking do that? And I am a bad guy. I'm the bad guy. But my mother waves to him and brings me food, and she's a good person. You have no idea the level of insult that I feel, especially since I'm in this wheelchair because of her. Because I got into an argument with her, asking her, Mom, please, you've been taunting my father every day. You've been taunting him every day. He's gonna snap and do something to you. She would not listen. So we got into an argument about it that day. That's when my father came down. That's when we started arguing. She wove her web. You know, it's almost like you can call it the godmother, and you can show the puppet strings like in the movie, you know, like the ad for the movie, and show her pulling the strings. Like we danced for her. We were her little puppets, and we danced for her. It was amazing. Now, I could prove this. I could prove she's like this, okay? But you know what the sad part is? The real sad part? The fact that I'm gonna prove myself right now in the next couple of videos that this happened. This is something that went down. This happened, all right? And people are gonna be more angry with me for expressing myself and exposing her than they are gonna be mad at her. That's just gonna be wrong about it. And I want to let you know that's the reason, right there. All right. I want to let you're gonna be these people are gonna be watching these videos one day, and they're gonna be looking for a reason. They're gonna be looking for a reason to why I am the way I am. They're gonna wonder why, right? And there it is. There's one reason. I'm not blaming my mother for any certain. Listen, I blame what happened in 2007 for some bad decisions I made in my life. That I blame. I mean, yeah, I'm sure if you talk to a psychologist, they'll tell you my mother had something to do with it. I'm sure it's always the mother. I blame certain instances and certain activity that took place in 2007, things that I was witness to, things that I don't even know if I should talk about. Like I don't even know if it would be a good idea to this day to talk about, you know. But you know what, I'm gonna do it because hey, whatever. I want to say I'm dead anyway, but you know what? Yeah. So I remember there were times like my mother used to talk about she was gonna run away. Listen, you know how I came to be. I want to give my origin story in the next video. You're gonna love this one. I think the reason why my mother was like that is because actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna tell you. Matter of fact, I'll tell you in this video. I think my mother was like that because my mother was married to someone else. They divorced. Probably I could just imagine why. Probably he had enough of her bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, supposedly he was a druggie. Everybody's on drugs. Everybody's on drugs to my mother. Everybody she has a problem with is on drugs. You notice that? You notice a trend, right? But I guess my father was in the friend spot for a while. And, you know, I guess her being, you know, in her culture, this is the 80s, mind you. It's not the 60s or 70s. This is the 80s, mind you. She made her own choices. Like, she makes it sound like she gave up a job to have a family. She was a 35-year-old secretary. Please. Please. I mean, really, I'm not trying to put people down, but I mean, the notion, my father offered her the world. He wanted kids. He was friends with her. He played the friend spot for a while. She never wanted to be with him, ever. Okay? She never wanted to be with him. She never wanted to be with him. Okay? But she ended up with him. And, like, he'd be the type of guy to make fun of her. I once got her to, he would make fun of her. Like, if ever, he would talk about how she's getting fat. Like, I mean, my father's the type of guy who, you know, after my aunt had a baby, right? He's outside her car saying, hey Patty, did you have the baby yet or what? Like that, just to give you some ideas to what that guy is like. The guy who raised me, yeah. Real Prince Charming. Yeah. Right, unbelievable. And that's who my mother ended up with. So I could just understand what it's like looking at me and seeing the progeny of that. I could just imagine what that must have been like for her. I could just fucking imagine. All right? So, you know what? Like I said, this video is about to cut off. It's at the 10-minute mark. Next video, I'm gonna show you an example of what my mother would do. All right? I'm gonna show you an example, and I'm gonna prove myself. All right? I'm gonna prove my point right now. Okay? And like I said, bear with me for a couple more videos, because then I'm done. Then I'm strictly about nursing home life. And like I said, there might slip in a little personal story here and there, but like I said, I'm sorry. I'm using this as an outlet. I'm sorry. Okay. So this video is about to cut off. Anybody who watched, thank you so much. I do appreciate your viewership.